If you're dealing with brain fog, where you can't think clearly, forget what you were saying mid-sentence, feel like you're wading through mental sludge, you've probably wondered if something is seriously wrong with you. It's not. Brain fog has a specific cause, and once you understand what's creating it, you can fix it systematically. Let me start by saying what brain fog actually is, because most people think it's mysterious, or medical, or just part of getting older. It's none of those things. Brain fog is a symptom, not a diagnosis. It's your brain's way of signaling that it's overloaded. Think of it like this. When you have too many browser tabs open on your computer, everything slows down. The cursor lags, programs freeze, simple tasks take forever. Your brain does the same thing when it's processing too much information at once. Mental fatigue, poor working memory, difficulty finding words, trouble focusing on conversations, that foggy, static-filled feeling. It's not permanent, it's not brain damage, and it's definitely not a character flaw. It's cognitive overload. And here's what most people don't realize. Brain fog isn't some mysterious condition separate from focus problems. It's the same root cause showing up differently. If you've ever felt like you can't focus, can't think straight, and can't remember simple things all at the same time, that's overstimulation affecting multiple systems at once. But let me be specific about what brain fog is not. Because there's a lot of fear around this. It's not early dementia, even though it can feel terrifying when you forget words or lose track of what you were saying. It's not permanent brain damage. Your brain isn't broken, it's overwhelmed. And it's not a sign that you're lazy or unintelligent. Smart, capable people get brain fog all the time, because intelligence doesn't protect you from cognitive overload. So if brain fog is just overload, what's causing the overload? There are 3 hidden causes most people never address. And until you understand these, you'll keep trying solutions that don't work. Once you see these 3 causes, you'll realize why almost every brain fog solution you've tried failed, even the ones that felt logical. First, constant context switching. You probably think you're just multitasking, checking email while on a call, scrolling while watching TV, working on a document while messages come in. But your brain doesn't actually multitask. It rapidly switches between tasks. And every time you switch, there's a cost. Researchers call it attention residue. When you shift from task A to task B, part of your brain is still processing task A. It doesn't instantly let go, so you're never fully present for task B. You're always partially somewhere else. And when this happens dozens of times per day or per hour, your brain never fully settles into anything. The result is a constant low-grade fog. You're always halfway thinking about 3 things at once, and fully thinking about none of them. Second, information overload. Every day, you make over 1,000 micro-decisions. What to click, what to read, what to respond to, what to ignore. Each one seems trivial, but they add up. Decision fatigue is real. And when your brain is constantly triaging information, deciding what's important, what's urgent, what can wait, it depletes your mental resources. By midday, you're running on fumes. By evening, even simple decisions feel exhausting. What should I eat for dinner? I don't know. I can't think. That's not laziness. That's a brain that's been making decisions nonstop since you woke up. And here's the thing. When your brain is stuck in this constant shallow processing mode, scanning, sorting, switching, it loses access to deeper thinking, the kind of thinking that requires clarity. So when you sit down to do something that actually matters, the fog is thickest, because you've been running your brain in surface mode all day. Third, Dopamine dysregulation. This is the same mechanism that fragments your attention span. When you're constantly exposed to high-stimulation content, notifications, feeds, videos that autoplay, your brain adapts. It starts expecting that level of novelty and reward. And when the stimulation stops, your brain doesn't just relax. It feels offline, like the power went out. That offline feeling is what people describe as brain fog. It's not that your brain stopped working. It's that your brain recalibrated to expect constant input. And without it, baseline clarity feels like fog. So here's the key insight. Brain fog and attention problems are not separate issues. They're the same root cause, overstimulation, showing up in different ways. If you can't focus and you feel foggy, that's not two problems. That's one problem affecting two systems, your attention and your clarity. Now let's talk about why the common solutions don't work. Because if you've tried to fix brain fog before and failed, it's not because you didn't try hard enough. It's because you were treating the symptom, not the pattern. First, caffeine. Caffeine masks brain fog temporarily. It doesn't fix anything. You drink coffee, feel sharper for an hour or two, then crash back into fog. And if you keep using caffeine to push through, you build tolerance. Now you need more, just to feel normal. You're not solving brain fog. You're creating a dependency that makes the fog worse when the caffeine wears off. Second, nootropics and supplements. The supplement industry wants you to believe brain fog is a deficiency. Magnesium, omega-3s, lion's mane, ginkgo biloba. And sure, if you have an actual nutrient deficiency, supplements can help. But for most people, brain fog isn't a biochemical problem. It's a behavioral one. You can take all the nootropics in the world. But if you're still context-switching 50 times an hour and scrolling before bed, the fog isn't going anywhere. Supplements don't address the root cause. Third, just get more sleep. Sleep is important. But you can be well-rested and still have brain fog. Because sleep improves your capacity. It doesn't remove the overload. If you sleep 8 hours but then wake up and immediately start processing 100 inputs, the fog comes back by 10 a.m. Sleep helps you recover from the fog. It doesn't prevent the patterns that create it. Fourth, weekend digital detoxes. These are trendy right now. Turn off your phone for 48 hours, go offline, reset. And yes, you might feel better on Sunday night. But Monday morning, you're back in the same environment. Same habits, same stimulation, same overload. Within 72 hours, the fog is back. Because 2 days isn't enough time to retrain your brain. Neuroplasticity, the process of rewiring how your brain responds to stimulation, takes weeks, not days. A weekend detox pauses the noise. It doesn't reset the system. So if caffeine, supplements, sleep, and short detoxes don't work, what does? The reason this feels unsolvable is because you're trying to think your way out of a systems problem. Brain fog requires the same systematic reset that fixes attention problems. Not a quick hack. Not a supplement. A progressive retraining of how your brain processes information. And it takes about 30 days, not as a challenge, but as a retraining window. Not because that's a catchy time frame, but because that's how long it takes to reset dopamine sensitivity, reduce cognitive load sustainably, rebuild your brain's processing capacity, and establish a new baseline of clarity. The method I use has 4 phases: stabilize, rebuild, deepen, integrate. I've covered the full protocol in another video about fixing attention span. Because brain fog and focus problems are the same underlying issue. But let me show you what the first few days look like specifically for brain fog, so you can see how this actually works. Day 1. You start with a 10-minute morning routine, completely screen-free. No phone, no computer, no email. You sit on the edge of your bed. Take 3 deep breaths. Drink water. Move your body for a few minutes. Then you open a physical notebook and write down one thing you want to accomplish today. One word for how you want to feel, and one thing you're grateful for. That's it. Why does this help brain fog? Because you're giving your brain 10 minutes to wake up without immediately processing 50 inputs. No decisions, no notifications, no context switches, just presence. By midday, the fog feels slightly lighter. Not gone, but noticeably better. Day 2. You keep the morning routine, and you add an evening wind-down. 30 minutes before bed, all screens go away. You read a physical book, journal, stretch, whatever feels calm, nothing stimulating, nothing that requires decisions. Here's why this matters. Your brain processes the day during sleep. But if you're scrolling right up until you close your eyes, your brain doesn't have space to process. It's still in input mode. The wind down gives your brain permission to shift from receiving to integrating. Sleep quality improves. Morning fog reduces. Day 3. You add one 15-minute focus block. Pick a single task. Set a timer. Work on only that task until the timer goes off. No phone, no switching, no checking anything. At first, this will feel uncomfortable. Your brain will want to switch, to check, to do something else. That urge is the fog trying to pull you back into shallow mode. Don't give in. Just notice the urge. Write it on an index card if you need to. Keep working. What you'll notice is that during the 15 minutes, the fog lifts. Your brain remembers what clear feels like. After the timer goes off, the fog might return. That's normal. You're training your brain to access clarity again. It takes repetition. By day 7, the pattern becomes visible. Morning fog is significantly reduced. Midday crashes are less severe. Words come easier during conversations. You're not fixed yet, but you're noticeably better. And that's the difference between a quick fix and a real reset. Quick fixes feel good for a day, then stop working. Real resets feel subtle at first, then compound. If brain fog is affecting your work, your relationships, or your quality of life, I created a complete protocol that walks you through this process step by step. It's called the 30-Day Focus Reset. Daily worksheets, focus block templates, emergency grounding exercises, everything you need to systematically clear the fog and rebuild mental clarity. The same method that fixes attention span also gets rid of brain fog, because they're the same underlying problem. Overstimulation. The link is in the description. If this was helpful, I post a new breakdown every 2 weeks. Subscribe if you want more. And if you'd rather start smaller, just the first week of the protocol, I pulled that into a free guide. The exact daily practices, worksheets, and prompts for days 1 through 7. That's also linked in the description and in the pinned comment. Thanks for watching.